After 3 years together, Sarah sat me down and said she needed a break. Her voice was gentle, but there was a distance in it that hadn't been there before. "I'll get in touch when I'm ready," she said, like it was a promise. I didn't argue. I just nodded, choosing to trust her words were sincere, even if her eyes avoided mine. For a while I clung to that trust. I believed she was overwhelmed, like she said. Maybe with life, maybe with us. It wasn't out of nowhere. Relationships go through seasons. I worked in IT security, long hours, travel. She managed a boutique downtown, loved talking about interior displays and the oddball customers who came in. We had a rhythm, quiet, stable. Shared meals, streaming shows, that bed that we used to call ours. But 2 weeks earlier, the cracks had started to show. I'd come home from a 3-day business trip to find Sarah sitting on the couch with a single suitcase beside her. "I need time to figure things out," she said, not meeting my gaze. "Things feel overwhelming." That word stuck with me. Overwhelming. Our life wasn't chaotic. It was routine, maybe even too routine. Predictable. "Teddy," I asked, "where are you going?" "Maybe my brother's. Or my parents'," she said vaguely, hoisting her bag. No certainty. No clear plan. Even then, part of me sensed the truth was being edited. But I didn't push back. I simply said, "Take all the time you need." She lingered like she expected a fight, a plea, some resistance. When I gave her none, she walked out. The apartment felt unfamiliar without her. Like a hotel room after checkout. I found myself replaying our exchange over and over. Something didn't sit right. The suitcase was too neatly packed. Her explanation too rehearsed. And the fact she couldn't say where she was staying, that didn't track. Her brother lived 20 minutes away. Her parents even closer. Why the vagueness? Still I gave her space. I resisted the urge to call or pry. A week passed. I buried myself in work, workouts, dinners with friends. I stayed off social media, mostly. But then my phone lit up with a notification. Sarah's cousin Mia had posted a video from what looked like a resort. Beach, palm trees, cocktails. Typical vacation stuff. But as the camera panned to a seaside cafe, my stomach dropped. There was Sarah. In a sundress, tanned. Her hair freshly styled and noticeably lighter. Laughing. Relaxed. Leaning into someone, Lucas. Her ex. The same Lucas she'd once called a closed chapter. His arm was around her. They weren't friends catching up. They were close. Intimate. Matching necklaces. Coordinated outfits. I watched the clip 3 times to be sure. This wasn't coincidence. It wasn't healing. It was premeditated. I didn't confront her. Didn't comment or send a message. I didn't yell or cry. Instead I got to work. First the car. Sarah's previous vehicle had died 6 months ago, so we'd financed a new one. Under my name. Her credit history wouldn't allow her to qualify. She made monthly payments, but per a notarized agreement we both signed, the title stayed with me. If we broke up, the car returned to me. Second, the apartment. I was the sole name on the lease. Sarah had moved in after a year of dating, contributing rent informally through bank transfers. No lease rights, no legal tie. Third, her possessions. Clothes, makeup, gadgets, books, and a vintage chest of drawers she'd inherited from her great-aunt. Most of the furniture was mine, bought piece by piece over the years. I contacted the DMV to confirm vehicle title status. Then called the bank to check the loan balance. I rented a local storage unit for a month and bought boxes, bubble wrap and labels. I spoke to the building manager. My girlfriend moved out, I told her. I need to change the locks. She gave me 2 options. Pay for a rekey or do it myself and provide a copy. I opted for the latter. I also made it clear Sarah no longer lived here. With her name never on the lease, that was a quick update in the system. Over the weekend, I packed her belongings with help from my sister. Every item handled with care. Clothes folded. Electronics padded. Books stacked neatly. I photographed each box, labeled them, and created a full inventory. Everything was transported to the storage unit. The car took a little more coordination. Sarah had said she'd be with family, but her car was parked at the airport, long-term lot. I retrieved it using my ownership documents. By day 10, the locks were changed, the car was in my driveway, and her belongings were stored. My accounts were secure, passwords updated. No contact from me. No warning. Just quiet preparation. Day 13, she finally reached out. Flying back tomorrow. Land at 4. Miss you. Let's talk. I didn't reply. I made arrangements to work from home the next day. Around 5:30 p.m., I heard her key fumble in the lock, then sharp knocking. When I opened the door, there she stood, sun-kissed, smiling, 2 suitcases in hand. Her smile faltered as she saw my expression. "My key's not working," she said, puzzled. "It's not supposed to," I answered. She blinked. "What's going on? You asked for space. I'm giving it to you." She took a step forward. I didn't move. "This isn't funny. I'm tired." "You're not Lucas," I said flatly. She went pale. I handed her an envelope. Inside was the storage unit key, a paid receipt, a list of items packed. "Your things are in Unit 204 at Secure Storage on Oak Street. Paid for the month. The car's mine as per our agreement." "You touched my things," she snapped. "I packed them with care. Everything's accounted for, including the chest." "This is my home," she said. "Your name isn't on the lease. I checked with a lawyer. You have no rights here." She softened, her voice trembling. "Where am I supposed to go? Your brothers. Your parents. Maybe Lucas still has a room in the Caribbean." She stiffened. "What are you talking about?" "Mia's video," I said simply. "She should be more careful about what she shares." Her expression tightened. "You had no right to see the truth, to follow through on our car agreement, to protect myself." A neighbor passed by. Sarah lowered her voice. "Can we talk inside?" "We're talking now," I replied. "Adults don't disappear with their exes and expect the welcome mat to still be out." She folded her arms. "Fine. I went with Lucas. It was a mistake. I was confused. But I came back to you." "No," I said calmly. "You came back to comfort, to convenience, to a life where I covered the bills and made things easy." Tears welled in her eyes, but they felt practiced. "You're throwing away 3 years over one slip." "The slip wasn't the trip. It was the lie. The manipulation. You could have been honest, and we could have ended this with dignity." I stepped back, letting the doorframe serve as a final barrier. "Your bags are downstairs. The storage place closes at 9. She tried arguing, pleading, accusing. I said nothing. Then I closed the door. That night I ordered takeout and sat alone, finally breathing. Not because I was rid of her, but because I'd finally chosen myself over the illusion of love. My phone lit up with messages. Sarah, her brother, even Lucas. He claimed she told him we'd broken up weeks ago. I didn't respond. A month later, Sarah had tried every angle. Texts, calls, mutual friends. I sent one email with the updated storage unit info. Said I'd paid another month. That was it. Lucas eventually messaged again, apologizing, saying Sarah had misled him too. I didn't reply. She picked up her belongings, leaving behind the vintage chest with a bitter note taped to it. I donated it. She argued about the car, claiming her payments meant something. My lawyer reminded her. Not even half the payments had come from her account. The contract was airtight. She let it go. She's at her brother's now. Lucas, from what I hear, isn't playing host anymore. People ask if I regret how I handled it. You don't. When someone betrays your trust, lies to your face, and plans an escape with someone else, they forfeit the right to a gentle goodbye. If she'd been honest, I would have helped her move out respectfully. But she wasn't. So I chose boundaries. Chose peace. I chose self-respect over betrayal. This wasn't revenge. It was clarity.